Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Kaliyuga Kalpataru. Fourth Delight. Sri Vyasa Yati Sarvabhouma. 17. Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni. A few days had passed since the previous incident. One evening, after the lamp worship was complete and the Guru and disciples were resting, Brahmanya Tirtharu spoke. By the grace of Sri Hari and Vayu, we have taught you everything we could. You are now qualified to study the 6 philosophies, especially the profound texts of Dvaita philosophy. If this endeavor is successful, our efforts will be fruitful, bringing us satisfaction and joy. Hearing this, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu joyfully responded, Revered One, I was not aware of this matter. I request you to kindly provide more details about the esteemed Sri Lakshmi Narayana Yogi. Brahmanya Tirtharu began to explain the story of Lakshmi Narayana Muni. We are 4 brothers. The eldest, Sri Purushottama Tirtharu, and I became head of this great institution. Our second eldest brother, Sri Swaranavarana Tirtharu, became the head of the Vidyapita established by Sri Padmanabha Tirtharu, a disciple of Sri Madhvacharya. Our youngest brother, Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni, was initiated into the Paramahamsa ashrama by Swaranavarana Tirtharu, who also taught him just as we have taught you. Lakshmi Narayana Muni was made the successor of his institution. Swaranavarana Tirtharu had high hopes that just as we have, his disciple Lakshmi Narayana Muni would grow to become a world-renowned scholar and advance Sri Madhvacharya's philosophy. By divine grace, this aspiration was realized. Sri Vibhudendra Tirtharu, the head of the southern branch of Sri Madhvacharya's 2 great institutions and a relative of our family, arrived at the place where Swaranavarana Tirtharu was residing in Srirangam during his travels. Upon learning this, Swaranavarana Tirtharu was filled with joy. He warmly welcomed Sri Vibhudendra Tirtharu, treated him with great respect and hospitality, and expressed his heartfelt wish that Vibhudendra Tirtharu teach all the scriptures to Lakshmi Narayana Muni to make him a great scholar. Vibhudendra Tirtharu agreed, and it was under his guidance that Lakshmi Narayana Muni studied all the scriptures and the Dvaita philosophy. Through Vibhudendra Tirtharu's grace, Lakshmi Narayana Muni became a world-renowned scholar. Sri Vyasa, Guruji, you mentioned that the revered Lakshmi Narayana Muni became a world-renowned scholar after studying under Sri Vibhudendra Tirtharu. Such a distinguished person must be extraordinary. I am curious to learn more about him. Please enlighten me. Brahmanya Tirtharu. We will now narrate the account of Sri Vibhudendra Tirtharu. Listen attentively. After Sri Kavindra Tirtharu, the one who succeeded him was his close relative, Sri Vagisha Tirtharu. Sri Vagisha Tirtharu then appointed Sri Ramachandra Tirtharu, who was the son of Sri Vidyaraja's elder brother and a prominent figure of the Pashika clan, as the head of the great institution. Sri Ramachandra Tirtharu initially studied under Sri Kavindra Tirtharu and later under Sri Vagisha Tirtharu, mastering all the scriptures and the entire Dvaita Vedanta and earning a reputation as an unparalleled scholar. He thoroughly studied all the scriptures and Dvaita philosophy in the traditional teaching and discourse methods of the Srimadvacharya lineage. He then initiated his nephew and the pride of the Pashika family, Raghunatha Bhatta, into the Paramahamsa ashrama, naming him Sri Vibhudendra Tirtharu. He coronated him into Sri Madhvacharya's Vedanta's empire, bestowing upon him all the titles and honors, and entrusting him with the great institution of Sri Madhvacharya. Feeling accomplished, he himself then dedicated his time solely to the meditation, contemplation on the essence of Sri Hari and other spiritual practices. Sri Vibhudendra Tirtharu took on the leadership of the great institution and remained in the presence of his Guru for a couple of years, serving with devotion and dedication, earning the supreme grace of his Guru. During this time, scholars from opposing philosophies gained strength and began to attack Dvaita philosophy from all sides. This was the period of crisis for Madhva Siddhanta, raising concerns about its survival. The heads of all the mathas were deeply worried. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, the visionary Sri Ramachandra Tirtharu appointed his disciple Sri Vibhunendra Tirtharu to undertake a mission to refute the opposing views and protect the long-standing Vedic philosophy. He sent Vibhunendra Tirtharu on a Digvijaya Yatra, that is, conquest of scholarly debates, to eliminate these obstacles and uphold the tradition. Honoring his Guru's command, Sri Vibhunendra Tirtharu embarked on his victorious journey. He faced hundreds of scholars who were experts in various fields of philosophy and debate. With the supreme grace of Sri Hari and Vayu, Vibhunendra Tirtharu courageously engaged in debates with scholars proficient in Nyaya, Vyakarana, Mimamsa, and other scriptures. His unparalleled debating skill, brilliance, and radiance caused his opponents to fall like moths into a flame. They were left without any counter-arguments. Particularly, Vibhunendra Tirtharu refuted numerous fallacies posed by Shaiva and Advaita scholars. He upheld the true knowledge and principles as enshrined in the Vedas, defeating hundreds of opponents and reinforcing the Dvaita philosophy. As he traversed the length and breadth of India, the victorious sound of Madhva Siddhanta resonated, and his unchallenged brilliance shone brightly. He earned unparalleled fame as the world-renowned scholar, highly respected by all. Sri Vibhunendra Tirtharu defeated hundreds of powerful scholars and had their victory certificates engraved on 108 golden lotus petals. He then offered this extraordinary golden lotus victory garland to his family deity, Sri Srinivasa Deva of Tirupati, thus fulfilling his title as the supreme establisher of the Dvaita philosophy. At the request of Sri Swarnavarna Tirtharu, Sri Vibhunendra Tirtharu accepted Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni as his disciple. Along with his beloved disciple, he taught Lakshmi Narayana Muni various philosophies, especially the Vedanta philosophy of Acharya, while residing in Srirangam for a long time. When our Lakshmi Narayana Muni began his studies under Vibhunendra Tirtharu, the teachings and discourse tradition was in a state of flux, and differences in the tradition were beginning to emerge. This caused deviations in the uninterrupted teachings and teaching tradition, and the essence of the text by Sri Madhvacharya and Tikacharya was starting to fade. Recognizing the need to preserve and continue the proper teaching tradition of Sri Madhvacharya and Tikacharya's texts, Vibhunendra Tirtharu realized the necessity of having capable scholars to ensure the Dvaita philosophy would continue to shine brightly for future generations. Understanding the need for such capable and knowledgeable individuals, Vibhunendra Tirtharu began preparing his dear disciple, Sri Jitamitra, for this great task while searching for another highly intelligent disciple. At this time, Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni came into his fold, bringing him great joy. At first sight, Vibhunendra Tirtharu realized that Lakshmi Narayana Muni was the disciple he had been hoping for. Impressed by Lakshmi Narayana Muni's talent, extraordinary grasping power, and the unique radiance on his face, Vibhunendra Tirtharu was overjoyed. He felt that Sri Madhvacharya, Padmanabha Tirtharu, and Tikakritpada themselves had provided this fortunate opportunity. During their stay in Srirangam and throughout their travels, Vibhunendra Tirtharu taught Lakshmi Narayana Muni with immense care, affection, love, and trust for 12 years. He imparted all his knowledge of various scriptures, debating skills, expertise in defeating opponents, literary compositions, philosophical establishment, and profound insights to Lakshmi Narayana Muni. He meticulously instilled in him the secrets of Sri Madhvacharya's teachings, traditional discourses, and the essence of the tradition, ensuring that Lakshmi Narayana Muni would become an unparalleled scholar and a world conqueror in knowledge. Many heads of institutions, householders, and hundreds of disciples studied under Sri Vibhunendra Tirtharu, becoming great scholars. Among all these disciples, Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni became renowned as a true representative of Vibhudendra Tirtharu's in every aspect. Sri Vibhudendra Tirtharu's grace and continuous efforts resulted in our Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni becoming renowned as the Acharya of the six philosophies and the sole leader in teaching and spreading the principles of Dvaita philosophy. He is highly respected by all scholars, kings, virtuous people, and devotees, gaining immense honor, recognition, and deep reverence. Today, he enjoys widespread fame and royal honors. Dear disciple, we believe that these eminent individuals are capable of teaching you and making you a master of all scriptures. Hearing this word from his guru, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu was deeply moved. He was overwhelmed with joy and felt his hair stand on end. He said, Gurudeva, I consider it my fortune to study under the illustrious Sri Lakshmi Narayana Yogi. I am blessed, Swami. How did the Guru move from Srirangam to Mulabagalu? Kindly enlighten me. Brahmanya Tirtharu replied, Lakshmi Narayana Muni was brought to Mulabagalu by Suluva Narasimha, the governor of Mulabagal, Penukonda Mandalas, and the ruler of Chandragiri. Suluva Narasimha was a great warrior, a benefactor of the empire, a devout worshipper, a supporter of learning, and a ruler who was greatly loved by his subjects. Known for his political acumen and concern for his people, Suluva Narasimha led many battles for the welfare of the kingdom, earning victories and instilling fear in his enemies. The people honored him with titles such as Mahamandaleshwara, Maharaja, and Prithvi Vallabha. He frequently visited Srirangam for political reasons, and due to his deep devotion, Suluva Narasimha was an ardent and uninterrupted devotee of Lord Srinivasa of Tirupati. Similarly, he often visited the Vishnu shrine at Srirangam to seek the blessings of Lord Ranganatha. Whenever Suluva Narasimha visited Srirangam, he learnt about our Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni, who was endowed as a great scholar and a highly respected figure, rich in knowledge, devotion, and renunciation. Being a devout Kannada, he met with Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni with great confidence and received their blessings. From their first meeting, Narasimha developed a special devotion and respect for the Guru. As a devotee of God himself, he thought that having such a distinguished and knowledgeable Guru in the Karnataka kingdom, especially in his own realm, would not only ensure the welfare and spread of Dharma in the empire, but also provide him with frequent spiritual guidance. Suluva Narasimha, who valued education highly, conceived the idea of establishing a prestigious education institution in Karnataka with Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni as its head. He believed that this would bring structured education in Indian science and bring worldwide fame to Karnataka as a center of knowledge. Around 10 years ago, during one of his visits to Srirangam, he expressed his desire to Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni and persuaded them to come to Mulabagalu with all royal honors. Then he provided them with a village, land, revenue, residence, and buildings for educational institutions. He also ensured the necessary financial and material resources for the institution's maintenance. Mulabagalu had always been a haven for scholars and descendants of the Shastika clan. After considering all this, Sri Lakshmi Narayana Muni decided that Mulabagalu was an ideal place for permanent residence. They agreed to Suluva Narasimha's request and settled in Mulabagalu, where they established a prestigious education institution. As its head, they taught various scriptures and held discourses for hundreds of students, quickly turning them into a renowned center of learning. To ensure the institution's continued growth, Narasimha provided all necessary facilities and frequently visited Mulabagalu to receive spiritual and moral guidance from the Guru. Following the teachings and advice, he governed his kingdom, earned a reputation as a beloved ruler. As a result of the efforts of Suluva Narasimha Raya, who was both an advocate of education and a devotee of God, our Lakshmi Narayana Muni settled in Mulabagalu. There, he became a prominent proponent of Dvaita philosophy, imparting knowledge to hundreds of students and serving as a spiritual guide to Suluva Narasimha. This led to his widespread fame. Hearing this account, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu was filled with joy and said, I am overwhelmed with happiness. Guruji, if you permit me, I am ready to go to Mulabagalu to study under Sri Lakshmi Narayana Yogi. Sri Brahmanya Tirtha replied, Dear disciple, this is a supreme sacred task. Therefore, we will personally take you to Mulabagalu and entrust you to Lakshmi Narayana Muni, ensuring the commencement of your studies under him. We will make arrangements to depart for Mulabagalu in a few days. Hari Om. Sri Krishnarpanamastu.